$2,300 a month. Okay, who could afford that? Well, we'll go on our GoPro 3 Plus walk with the headset on. First time doing this. See how it works out. I got it on the 1080p, 30 frames per second. Not very well versed on the video stuff, so we're just experimenting away here. It's about 3:30 Friday afternoon. Had a choice, either to sit around or ride my bicycle or ride my motorcycle or take a walk. So I decided to take the old GoPro for the walk for the first time, and we'll see how it comes out. It takes about a half hour to do this this loop I like to do, and that's it. Went over to the motorcycle shop today, check on a pair of special dungaree riding pants, and I had tried on a 32, and it was, I mean, I fit in it, but it was just, you know, when it's just that tiny bit too tight, and you say, well, when I wash it, and especially for 120 bucks, you know, want to fit right. So I waited till they got the 34 in. I went over there today, tried on the 34, and I guess the 34 is a 36 there, because I'm swimming in it, and there's no 33s. So, you know, who wants a pair of loose riding pants? I mean, the idea is to have it fit properly, so if you did fall down, it wouldn't come off. And so I had to pass on it, and they don't make 33s. And the lengths, I have a 30 inseam, which isn't small, but it's not big. And all the inseams on all of the sizes, whether it be 30, 32, 34, 36, you know, whatever, is 34. So they're tailoring these things for giraffes or something. I don't know what. I mean, they have a 30-inch waist and a 34 length. It's like you probably have to be in high school, and you'd have these very long legs. Actually, in high school, I had a 25.5-inch waist and 30-inch inseam. But everybody was as thin as I was. Didn't have any fat on my body. I was 118.5 pounds. That was it. Couldn't gain that half a pound no matter what. Now I'm 170 and 34, actually really a 33, but you know, size is usually 32, 34, so. And 30-inch inseam, which stores have, fits perfect. And that's a pair right there, you see. So, although it's a nice day, afternoon, it's been a little windy and blowing off of the desert, blowing in all the poison air. Last week it rained for the first time in a year, and I never felt so good the next day. All of the dust, you know, whatever particulate matter is in the air, you know, was knocked down by the rain. I could definitely tell the difference. Felt really much, much better. Then all of a sudden the wind shifted and it blew in the poison air off of the desert. And I'm back to, you know, not feeling well. Experienced the same thing when I went to on a cruise to Alaska. Felt really good on the ship, man. Air quality was terrific. And get back to LA, and nice as it is here, I'm north of LA, right in between LA and Santa Barbara. You just don't feel well. And when we went to Hawaii in August, although it was 88 degrees and much more humid than we're used to here in California, I felt pretty good. Because the air quality is 2,500 miles away from anything, those islands. So the air, the breeze is there. The trade winds, breezes, really let you know what it's like to have nature take care of you there with the fresh air. It's very beautiful here, but you know, all the air pollution, and not just from the cars and all. You know, there's all this pollen in the air too when you're out in nature. And I seem to be affected by it, as are many people. I don't really have like allergies to speak of, but just, you can tell the wind blows you off the desert, you dehydrate, and you don't feel right. You don't feel good at all. So that's how it is. Yeah, there's no perfect place. No perfect place at all. So yeah, we're out doing our walk. Haven't walked in about a week. And wanted to do something. I didn't know what to do. Went to the mall, had coffee. I wasn't feeling well. I had some more coffee, and you know, caffeine gives you a bit of a lift. Took my Celebrex and whatever to help with the pain and stiffness. Every day it appears to become more and more of a reality of my life. I started getting my frozen shoulders. It's going on 10 years now. I've been retired 5 years. So about 10 years ago, my right shoulder. Oh God, that was horrible. But I made it through that. It took an entire year. And then after I retired, which was 5 years ago, now about a year later, man, my left shoulder started getting pains, stiffness, tightness, and if you look it up, you'll see it doesn't stop. It goes on for months, 3-4 months. It gets worse every single day. Really, pain can really teach you a lot about yourself. So now my right shoulder from 10 years ago, 1 year later, started loosening up. Within a month or two, completely loosened up and got full use back. My left shoulder, it's never completely went back. And now, at night, when I fall asleep, I stiffen up. Pretty sucky. Very painful. The stiffness is, you know, it's like claustrophobic. You can't, you know, you can't get away from it. It's very scary. last couple of nights, woke up on my stomach. Couldn't move. Couldn't move. I used to be able to do 100 push-ups in less than a minute. Back in, high school. 50 years ago. 50. Tell me that's not frightening. Now I cannot do one. Like I said, my shoulders, the way they have these adhesions or something. And so I woke up on my stomach. And you can't do a push-up to get up. And you can't move because your shoulders are frozen all the way down to your wrists, or like someone put crazy glue on you, So you have to come out of it very slowly because it's very painful to move. And you don't want to rip or tear tendons or nerves or anything because they're definitely not in the right spot. And if you don't panic, you can get out of it. Get up, go to the bathroom or something, and come back and lay on your back or on your side. Sometimes I actually roll over, by mistake, twice a night. You find yourself a couple hours later, you're facing the pillow, unable to move. It's really, really not funny at all.
Yeah, good morning. Are you there?
So that's my UPS guy. Very friendly. Very nice guy. Boy, they sure do work hard. Whew. I guess a competition in the way things are now. They don't care how many packages they give you. They want them all delivered on time. Pronto. Looks like it was trash day today. Whew. That's about the only thing that they, since I moved here, the prices have gone up. It's remained very reasonable. Everything else is very expensive. The kids who were born in this neighborhood, grew up, went to school here, can't afford to live here. It really is. Geez, something wrong with that, isn't there? Really. Something very wrong with that. Yeah, next June will be 50 years that I've been out of high school. Gee whiz, that seems very scary. 50. I was telling my psychologist, was complaining about, different things, and I told her, I recalled that I made up a timeline before I retired, and so that was about 7 years ago, let's say. Trying to sketch things out, what'll be over the next couple of years and expenses, and as you know, things have been getting more difficult. And I was sort of like, not in a panic, but I suffer from PTSD, so I very easily get very disturbed. Then all of a sudden, I realized that, what's happening really fit into my timeline. that's what I had anticipated. And although there were a couple of, unplanned for things, but that 5 years had passed. When I was drawing up the timeline, let's say 2 years before retiring, I was projecting out 5 years after retiring. I realized the 5 years was up. And no, I didn't project past the 5 years because, well, I spent a lot of time thinking about it, really. An enormous amount of time, to be honest with you. I was an analyst, work, and I could expend a hell of a lot of brain power focusing on things, trying to figure them out and analyze them. And so, yeah, in the end, I just projected out 5 years because, gee whiz, who knows what's going to be. So, yeah, I had that epiphany, or whatever they call it. I realized that, well, this February, the 5 years is up. So why should I be surprised? It helped a little bit. Just a little. So, I don't really know what to do. When I was at work, even at work, I'm talking 25 years ago, the type of work I did, the analysis, and the type of questions I used to have to respond to. In the very, very early beginning, I used to say, these people think I have a crystal ball or some shit? Really? Am I a shell answer man? And there are so many uncertainties in accounting, and the type of accounting I did, analysis, all the different variables, and really, you need a crystal ball. How much will this cost? Well, who the hell knows? What are you, crazy? And of course you can't tell them that. You have to come up with something that you can thoroughly defend, and I did. But thinking way back to being at Queens College, and the textbooks and the professors and all, hey, there's theory and there's practice. You can come up with the theoretical things, but in practice, only God knows. And that is the way it is. You don't have to like it, and there's nothing you can do about it. And boy, oh boy, now that I'm getting older and tired and weaker, and I think I'm getting more feeble-minded every day, it really is difficult, especially in this world the way it is now. Oh God. My grandmother used to say, the more things change, the more things remain the same. And that is how it is. That unless you accept the fact that things are changing, even if you can't see it, don't notice it, or apparently aren't affected by it. I say apparently because only God knows what the future will hold. That's it, And it's really, really weird to see the way the world is changing, and no matter how well prepared you tried to be, that you really can't keep pace with it. There are some. I did relatively well. Did a lot of sacrifices to be prepared for now. For 30 years I lived like a saint. like a little mouse, you know. Lucky to own my own house. A mouse who owns his own house. Even with that, I tell you, I do not know what these other people are going to do. I have the suspicion there will be many murder-suicides because, you know, unless, you know, you're taken early, that last 20 years sure could be a bitch. People living into their 80s, you know? And, you know, they're having a party with us on the medical course, medical insurance, fire and safety, you know. It's almost as if the whole world went insane. I was just telling my wife I saw something online, and I guess a lot of us have thought about it. You know, I got out of high school in 1965, and right after that, all the peace and love and stuff, and hippies, and no war, and make love, you know what it was. Now you look around you, and it's almost as